As we did yesterday, the main prayers will be led by Venerable Petronla, and setting a proper motivation with 3 points. One is the refuge field. Number 2, Bodhicitta field. Number 3, the purpose of this practice. And for the refuge field, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us. And how you visualize them, that makes a whole difference. Visualize them as so loving, caring, and embracing, as if like you are a little girl, little boy, and the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they are like your mother, embracing you with total love, affection, and attention. And for the Bodhicitta field, visualize your 2 grandparents. You may have difficulty with your parents, you may have conflicts with your parents, but particularly like 90% of the people, we have received the maximum love and affection when we were young, when we were vulnerable. And we go back in time, think of those things, and today if there's any conflicts, it is your responsibility to make sure that the conflicts are resolved very peacefully, and where you should behave more mature, particularly that given that you have met with this incredibly precious, very powerful, very compassionate, very wise Nalanda tradition, the teachings of the Buddha. You should be behaving like the mother and all others, including your parents, if should there be any conflicts or the difficulties in between in terms of relationship. You should take the responsibility to make sure that all these differences are being settled smoothly, peacefully, where the other person sees the wonder. You are younger in age, but you are so mature in thinking. They learn from you. This is what we have to practice, and we can't expect that to happen overnight or just in 10 days. We need to be constantly reflective of this reality, and then to make sure that we grow day by day, month by month, year by year. We keep growing, and that our compassion increases, and our skills in managing other people increases, and that the other people seeing the change within you, your composure, your compassion, other people automatically change. So this is what is expected. And likewise, think of the benefit, the purpose of this practice is to awaken the Buddha nature within us, seed of perfection within us. And how to do that is by identifying the mental defilements which obscure this Buddha nature. Mental defilements are of 2 kinds, which we already learned yesterday: the gross one and the subtle one. Gross one is referred to as afflictive obscurations, the presence of which blocks us from attaining fearlessness, freedom from miseries, and technically referred to as nirvana. And the subtle one blocks us from attaining the infinite happiness, and technically referred to as Buddhahood. And given that all these mental defilements, that they are somehow connected with the ignorance, and more precisely self-grasping ignorance, the remedy lies in the wisdom to counteract this ignorance, and the wisdom of an ultimate reality, what makes you see the reality as it is. And this must be supported by incredibly great motivation of the bodhicitta, the desire to benefit all human sentient beings by becoming Buddha yourself. And to what extent this bodhicitta grows is determined by to what extent your compassion is. So it must be grounded on great compassion, universal compassion towards all the beings. And again, to what extent you feel this compassion is determined by how much you feel the pain of samsara, how much you feel the pain of the misconception, ignorance within yourself, and to that extent, the great compassion rises to us, directed towards other beings. So with this in mind, with the motivation to practice these remedies to overcome the mental defilements, so that Buddha nature within us will be awakened, and that you can guide all other dear mother sentient beings towards the intended goal of fearlessness, infinite happiness. Okay, so with this, I pass it down to Vedana for the recitation of prayers.
Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pincher sangye drupar shuk sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kyapsu chi Dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pincher sange drupar shuk sange chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pincher sange drupar shuk. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking purification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduers expound a variety of teachings. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knower of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has illuminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun te shantata gato hevadat te shanchayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum te shantata gato hevadat te shanchayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum te shantata gato hevadat te shanchayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Meaning of the 10 Ningpo mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagatas. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar-like Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseized, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, I pay obeisance. The 4 seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Instructions on parting from the 4 attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. So page 14, Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the 4 destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable, wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. The Heart Sutra, page 29. The Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on massive Vulture's Mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharadvati Putra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseized, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared: Tayata Om Gate Gate Para Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra. Tayata Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisva Hateata Om Gate Gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha te ata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha te ata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha te ata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels, possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be dispelled. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Page 35. So 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Langri Tangpa. With a determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard her still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamarim dedication prayer. From my 2 collections, vast as space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. 7-limb practice. Excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lines amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you, with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full path of all beings. Ki ju shing me to tram ri rob ling ji ni de gen pa di Sangye Shingdu Mikte Uwai Drokur Namadak Jingla Chopar Shu. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. The 4 dharmas of Venerable Gampopa, may I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The 4 dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. The Foundation of All Good Qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to the Guru is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this trained in supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows in Samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. So the meaning of the Miksema verse first. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows. Losangdrapa, at your feet I make prostrations. Now the Miksema verse. Mig me zeve ter chen re zig drime ken pe wampo jampelyo Ganchen kepe zugen songkapa lozang drape zabla zulwade mig me zeve ter chen re zig drime ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen song kapa lozang drape zabla zoade mig me zeve ter chen re zig drime ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen song Kappa Lo Zang Drape Zabla Zulwade.
Thank you, Venerable Pedula. Next, generating the mind of fundamental yoga. This is again the taken out from His Holiness's teachings. The last like almost 20 years since I was more actively involved in the teachings of His Holiness, translating for His Holiness, gathering material and so forth. I noticed that this is generating the consummate yoga, the mind of the consummate yoga. This is something extremely important, and which His Holiness does on many occasions during the teachings. So this is what is the kept aside as a separate practice, the main practice. So for this, 4 things to keep in mind. One is the wisdom side, and the other one is the method side. And wisdom side, the wisdom of emptiness. For the method side, bodhicitta. And the ground for the bodhicitta is renunciation. And then to stabilize these 3 practices is shamatha practice. So these 4. And what we do is that first we do the single point of meditation, shamatha practice. And those of you who are already senior, you already have your own well-established meditation object, meaning that whatever you're visualizing, or particularly this is focused on the stability practice or the shamatha practice, meaning calm abiding. Technically refers to calm abiding shamatha, and to build your stability in your mind. So for the beginners here, what we learned is one is just counting the breath. You don't have to follow the breath, just count the breath. These two are different. Following the breath, they are very sophisticated practices, like following the breath, going through your right nostril, then entering through the central channel, going down, again going through the central channel, coming out, again going through the right nostril, left nostril, then the both sides. They're very sophisticated ones are there. They just keep that aside. What we do is something simple and yet very effective. And later on, if you're interested to specialize in these practices, then what I said, entering through the 2 nostrils, then entering through the central channel, the getting out of the central channel, again going through the 2 side channels. You can do that later on if you are really interested in this, but don't be too excited. Don't be too quick to say that, oh, I'm interested in this. So this is the indication that you're going to leave the practice altogether. So let's do something simple. Just count the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1, breathe in, breathe out. Just do that. And then alongside, just see if you can do the multitasking. While counting the breath, also visualize a tiny white dot, like 2 mm or 1.5 mm in diameter between your nose and upper lip. Just see if you can do the 2 things together. Don't say that I tried for 1 week, it's not working. Don't say like this. And this is not this is not like 2 + 3 = 5. It's not that easy. This requires a lot of training to undo our bad habit which we built since time immemorial till now. It's a chronic disease of having the mind being distracted, mind easily falling to laxity and so forth. So we're trying to undo these bad habit of the mental excitement and mental laxity. So it'll take time. It's to do 1 week, just nothing. Don't be too impatient. Practice these things, and within a span of if you're very serious for the next 1 month and still nothing works, you want to go for 1 rather than 2, then you can choose one, either the breath or the visualization of the white dot. Simply because that you can do it within a week and give up, then you're going for the quick fix. There's no quick fix for the spiritual path to awakening. Okay, so with this in mind, the 5 minutes breathing meditation with focus on the white dot. Ready? Okay, thank you. Next, we will do the renunciation, which we do on the basis of the four seals. And today we do that on the basis of guided meditation, guided instruction with instructions given. Tomorrow we'll try without instructions. Without instructions. Finally, we have to be able to do that on your own without having to depend on somebody else. So tomorrow we'll do that without instructions. You know why I'm giving the forewarning? You know why I'm giving the forewarning? Because today you pay attention to this. Otherwise, we don't say this, you just flow and then you forgot what is being said. Okay, this all psychological things, how your mind you automatically will be more focused. Okay, ready? And tomorrow I mean it, no instructions. So you should be able to do that tomorrow. Just don't worry. Try it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. Then day after tomorrow, I can be able to do that with these instructions. Ready? So here all along, for the renunciation, bodhicitta, the wisdom of emptiness, in all these cases, what is required is that yes, we see that there's a great discrepancy between what the instruction given and that your national thinking. There's a huge gap, discrepancy there, and which means that what we try to do seems so superficial. Yes, it is superficial. Because of that, it is known as practice. So this practice eventually will lead us to something real. So for that, we require the practice. And the fact that it's superficial and you may feel little aversion to what we're doing, you keep in mind that I'm very fortunate that I get such opportunity to challenge my own mind, my innate, the instinctive thinking, which is like a chronic disease of not being able to flow in this virtuous the train of thoughts. Okay, renunciation. Renunciation means to renounce your miseries. It does not mean to renounce your happiness. It's to renounce miseries. To renounce the fears of samsara. To renounce the fears of samsara, the wise people will look for to renounce the causes of miseries. Which the Buddha indicated, ye dharma hetu prabhava. All these phenomena of the miseries arise from the causes. And the Buddha identified the causes in the form of contaminant karmas and afflictions, and already to the self-grasping ignorance complemented by self-centered attitude. And the self-grasping ignorance, to identify this subtle self-grasping ignorance, Buddha identified total 4 levels of ignorance. Ignorance which misconceives impermanent phenomena as permanent, which misconceives miseries as happiness, which misconceives impure things as pure, finally which misconceives what lacks intrinsic self or intrinsic phenomena, intrinsic reality as intrinsically existent. To overcome these 4, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. The first seal, all composite things impermanent. What is a composite phenomena? Which is composed of directional parts and temporal parts in time. Like one day is made of 24 hours, is made of 24 components, temporal components. So anything which is composed of these 2 parts, directional parts or temporal parts, should necessarily undergo changes or impermanence. What the physics identifies as all the physical material phenomena, they should necessarily undergo their constant flux of change. And this impermanence is of 2 kinds, gross and subtle. The gross one marked by the termination of the continuum of the object whose continuum terminates. For example, 2023, our youth, the joys that we experience, except for the uncontaminated joy, uncontaminated happiness. For us, all happiness that we experience are nothing but contaminated happiness, which always comes to an end. Like your youth, your celebration, your birthday celebration over the last many years, however wonderful those moments, they're all gone. Your youth also. You may be 20 now, but your teenage years gone. Those in 30s, you in 20s gone. So this is what is meant by impermanent phenomena. Believe it or not, 200 years ago, on this planet Earth, there must be about like 4 or 5 billion human beings. And today we are these beings. Not even a single person of them is today alive. And once there were people who are as young as you are, younger than you, older, parents having so much of expectation from the children, and children having their own the expectation and their career, ambition, and so forth. Where are these people now? Whether they've accomplished their career, ambition or not, they're all gone. And how many of them do you remember? Only few people we remember, that's it. We even don't remember who your grandparents are, who your great-grandparents are. We don't know. We don't even know their names. We even don't know how they looked like. They disappeared altogether. It's not that we are fortunate and they're unfortunate, they're gone and we're alive. It's a matter of time, 200 years down the line in the future. Not even a single person out of 8 billion human beings will be alive then. And most likely, all of us here will not be remembered then. But they will have no clue that we once existed. We had to retreat here in Thosamling Nunnery. Yes, this is reality. So this impermanence is what Buddha summarized in Dhammapada, which was later compiled by the Arhats. What is gathered separates. What stands for. What is accumulated exhausts. What is born dies. This is reality. So with this in mind, we should remember the impermanence of death. We can't imagine to live in this planet Earth forever. And not think of the death is living the illusion. And then we plan all sorts of things for which we engage in so much negativities and afflictions. And thereby preparing ourselves to be plunged into miseries, endless miseries. So this gross impermanence is marked by the subtle impermanence. Where the gross change is there, this change is possible only when the change is happening on a subtle level. The change that you see over the span of 20 years, 30 years, that you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, is possible only the change is happening on a yearly basis. It's not that suddenly you have all your white hairs and the wrinkles coming over your face. It's a very gradual process, the change happening on the yearly basis, which in turn is possible with change happening on the monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis, millisecond by millisecond basis. In short, what is a composite phenomena should necessarily be undergoing these momentary changes, like millisecond basis change, which means all composite phenomena, they're moving so fast, like an extreme fast-moving train. Just imagine you are hearing the sound of a fast-moving train. This is how our body moves. This is how mind moves. This is how the planet, this beautiful Thosamling moves, changes. People around you change. Everything in it tiny, including the tiny leaves. They move so fast. It's very scary. This reality. Our eyes, our senses are so gross that they don't have the ability to see this reality. And through contemplation, through rational thinking, we come to discover, yes, the reality is very different from how we perceive the composite phenomena. It's like, as though like we are thrown in extremely fast-moving express train by a stranger, unknown person. The faster train moves, more the fear. And who decides where this train is taking you? The train driver decides. If the driver is your mom, no doubt it'll take you to pick this spot. But unfortunately, if it is either the dictators, the terrorists, or under the dictator, the terrorists, This will only take us to a slaughterhouse. In our case, it's a mind which is the driver, and unfortunately this mind is under the dictate of the worst of the terrorist, which is the worst of contamination, worst of the terrorist, which is self-grasping ignorance. And this ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude, will all give rise to the afflictions, anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, and so forth, which in turn give rise to all the contaminated karmas, give rise to miseries. This is what the Buddha indicated as second seal. All contaminated things are suffering nature. Suffering like what? Sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish, the fear of uncertainty, and so forth. One moment of such pain, tragedy is good enough to nullify all the past moments of merriments, festivities, the birthday parties, and so forth. Yes, this is extremely painful to think of the reality of the pains, miseries of our life, our samsaric life. Yes, it's so painful. Yes, I can understand it. When will this stop? 2023 is stopped already on its own. Nobody had to do anything to stop it. When will these miseries, when will these tears that we have to shed, when will they stop? They will never stop on their own. They'll stop only if we put a stop to the causes of these miseries. How to stop that? For that, we need to identify the nature of the cause of miseries. The nature of the cause of miseries lies in ignorance. And to remove the ignorance, we need to introduce the wisdom. And what is the wisdom? Wisdom is the mind, a discerning mind, whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What is the reality? Ultimate reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, still, given that we have not been introduced to this wisdom emptiness, we'll just imagine that the real wisdom is when you wake up to know that what was happening in the dream was all out of ignorance, seeing the dream is real, which is ignorance. Just imagine that wake up, the dream, there's two kinds, conventional dream and unconventional dream. Conventional dream is the dream from which we wake up every day. An unconventional dream, we have never woken up from this unconventional dream since time immemorial till now. So just as when we wake up from the conventional dream, all the fears of the conventional dream stops. Waking up is the wisdom to know that whatever happened in the dream is not real. Seeing the dream as real, the happiness in the dream when you are inflicted by the ignorance of the dream, sleep. Seeing the dream as real, which is ignorance. Where the ignorance is, the fears are attracted. You wake up, seeing the dream is unreal, not true. That is wisdom. All your fears dissolve. Imagine that we wake up from the unconventional dream also, where we see that everything is like a dream, not real. All your fears of samsara drops. That we see everything as purely coming from your subject. Nothing from the object is real. Empty from the object reality. Amazing. But this was a benefit. Yes, just we wake up from the regular dream, the fears of dream stops. Likewise, we wake up from the unconventional dream, all the fears of the samsara, dream of samsara stops. Your sickness, aging, death, in other words, all the mental agitation, mental stress, and the mental stress, mental disturbance, sorrows are transcended. This is what the Buddha indicated as transcendence of sorrow is absolute peace. Just feel that and generate a very strong wish. May I abide in this experience of the waking up state of emptiness of object reality, so where all my sorrows are transcended. This aspiration is known as renunciation. stay in 6 minutes for a while. Slowly come out of this practice to move to the bodhicitta practice. Ready? Bodhicitta. And bodhicitta practice, we do that on the basis of the 4 immeasurables. Practice of 4 immeasurables. And today we'll do all the 4 immeasurables. You ready? Okay. Again, this is going to be guided meditation with instructions. Just try to follow the instructions. And while you're doing the meditation, don't try to correlate with what you're hearing now, with what you've studied before, what you've read before, what you have learned before. Don't try to make any correlations. Just try to take this time as opportunity to awaken to invoke some experiential understanding. If you do want to correlate, you can correlate later on. Not now. Okay. Given that this is something which we never practiced before, this universal compassion for all the beings, so therefore we need a lot of support, and the greatest of the support that we can think of are the Triple Gem. So just invoke the blessings of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, particularly the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the 17 Enlightened Masters, and all the enlightened beings. Seek their blessings. And you are practicing this very immeasurable bodhicitta for the beings. Let us not miss to remember, bring all the beings in a visualization, including true parents, all the family members, including children, and all dear messenger beings, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, spirits, god and goddesses, everyone living on a side. Okay, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. And the cause of happiness primarily consisting of the wisdom of emptiness, the most fearless wisdom of emptiness, and the most beautiful mind of bodhicitta, the unconditional love of the compassion, love and affection, desiring to become Buddha for the benefit of demonstrated beings. I will take the responsibility that all my demonstration beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddha's Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, their intense happiness and proud of you, this pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to ascend for nectars of very soothing lights towards you and all demonstration beings. Their mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies brings yours, instills in all happiness, and the cause of happiness within you and all demonstration beings. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the demonstration beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. Immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my demonstration beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas, hearing what you are saying, sensing the commitments that you are making, like the mother after all these many years of raising her children, single-handedly going through all the hardships. Today, the eldest daughter, just age 12, and the eldest son, age 11, they come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us for all these many years. Now we have grown up. We'll take care of ourselves. We'll take care of all my siblings. And you have done everything. Please take rest. We'll also take care of you." The mother could not believe her eyes and ears. So much of joy, the tears of joy, the rolling through her cheeks. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so happy to see that you make such a commitment. And this joy and happiness the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke the compassionate omniscient minds to ascend for nectars of soothing lights to pursue an ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body's beings yours washes up all the miseries and the cause of miseries for the minds of you and the ultimate sentient beings. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all ultimate sentient beings. Your intense happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that almighty sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes happiness that they're endowed with. May almighty sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes happiness that they're endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes happiness that they're endowed with. The Bodhisattvas witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, their intense happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to ascend for nectars of soothing lights towards you and ultimate sentient beings. Their mere touch of lights and nectars with the body's beings yours stabilizes the happiness and causes the happiness that beings are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the demonstrated beings. You intense happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demons and sentient beings with total love and affection, leaving them aside. I will take the responsibility that all my demon sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demon sentient beings equally, leaving them aside. The Buddha's Bodhisattvas have been saying that we make such a courageous commitment, they intense happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion omniscient minds to central nectars of soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body's beings yours frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demon sentient beings equally, with total love and affection, leaving them aside. And you witnessing such a miraculous happening to all the dimensional beings. You are intensely happy. Take three deep breaths out with relief. Underscoring all the four immeasurables is the unconditional love towards all the beings. Just abide in this experience of the unconditional love towards all the beings. Imagining that you look in the eyes of each of the beings with so much love, affection, attention, embrace, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. With folded hands, let us make a bodhicitta commitment 3 times together, wholeheartedly, even if it is superficial, it doesn't matter. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother Sentient beings. May I May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother Sentient beings. Just about in this most beautiful mind of the universe. The desire to become Buddha, to be fully awakened, that you experience fearlessness and infinite happiness, and that you want to share this wisdom with all the dear sentient beings. So precious. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of the bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk, 1.5 inches or 2 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting at your heart. Okay, that's amazing. And you made this commitment, but you have to do something. You made a commitment, may I become Buddha. You have to do something to become Buddha. How to do that? You don't have to look for the Buddhahood from outside. It's all there within yourself. There's a Buddha nature there. The perfect potential Buddhahood is within you. Our job is just to remove the mental dirt. Buddha will manifest on his own from within. Our job is just to remove the dirt. How to remove the dirt? By applying the remedies. What remedy? The most powerful of which is a remedy in the form of wisdom of emptiness. Just imagine, as the practice of the third seal, as part of the 4 seals, just imagine that we wake up. First, let's see that we are in the sleep of ignorance, where we see everything so objectively real, so real. Now visualize that you wake up from the sleep of an unconditioned dream, where you discover that all what we are seeing just there, like dream, they all come from the subject, not from the object. While everything exists, they don't exist objectively, they only exist subjectively, while they still exist. It's not the problem of them existing that the miseries arise. The problem is that seeing the existence as objectively real, like seeing the dream as objectively real, that is the source of problem, not just the dream. Dream per se is not a problem. Seeing the dream is real, that's a problem. Likewise, seeing the conventional world is real, as object real, that is a problem. Imagine that you wake up from this and all the dreamlike, the miseries and the sorrows are transcended. Wow. Just in this experience of the wisdom of emptiness. Slowly transform this wisdom of emptiness into a spotless clean white, thumb size white of Vajra. Vertically sitting on the Buddhist heart. And just share this wisdom. Share this union of the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas. The moon is symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, which is in the form of the desire, the aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear sentient beings. This will guarantee to exterminate the self-centered attitude. within us. And a Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, which is the non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. This will guarantee us that all our mental defilements in the form of affective obscurations and our cognitive obscurations both will be eradicated. And the Buddha energy, the golden like Buddha energy inside will glow perfectly well, way indicated by Arya Nagarjuna in his text in Praise of Dharmadhatu. Amazing. Meanwhile, let us not forget your parents, your children, all the demonstration being suffering terribly badly. Generate very strong compassion, wishing to help all the demonstration beings. And this compassion invokes the Vajramuni of the heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one side of Vajramon with your mother at her heart, one side with the father at his heart, one side with each one of family members, including children, one with each of the beings here in Thosamling, in India, in your own country, in the whole world, in the whole Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe, the visible and the invisible parts of the universe. All the trillions of creatures in the ocean, they got their share of Vajramon from you. All the trillions of creatures in the wilderness, in the forest, including tiny insects, worms, to the biggest of the animals, like elephants and so forth. They got their share of Vajramon from you. With this mind, let us turn to page 50. Okay, we are taking the aspirational bodhisattva now. Taking the aspirational bodhisattva vow, there's no commitment at all. Anybody's welcome to take this. It's not even necessary that you should be a Buddhist. Not necessary. Anybody, you're a non-believer, still you can take this aspirational bodhisattva vow. And if at all you want to think of a commitment, the commitment would be that from today onwards, I'll be as kind towards other beings, and at least I'll not harm others. This much, if you can commit. Once in a while, you can become angry, is fine. But from deep inside, you must not have a sense of resentment, long-held resentment. That should not happen. So if this much you can commit, you are entitled to take this positive vow. And this vow is also so precious that, believe it or not, subconsciously or unintentionally, all our activities, somehow they are going to be virtuous. So with this mind, imagine that all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're so happy to see that today you are doing something amazing, the virtuous deed today. And all the demonstration beings, you inspire them to join you in this very wholesome, the generation of the bodhicitta, make the commitment of the bodhicitta. So with this mind, we already explained the meanings yesterday. We'll read this by reflecting on the meanings. Every time you reflect on meanings, some changes happen within you, awakening of the Buddha nature is happening in you, and the punching the hole to this vase, to this the obstructive vase, which obscures our Buddha nature, happens, and the good qualities from inside starts to beam forth. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall the true successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as successful dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall our true successful train in the Bodhisattva practices. Just feel the joy of having received that spiritual Bodhisattva vow. And Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so proud of you, like the mother, seeing that the little daughter, little son, two of them did something so good today after all these many years of being so mischievous, being naughty. Today what you did is extremely worthwhile, meaningful, virtuous, wholesome. This is exactly what all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are feeling today. They're so happy. And because of this joy and happiness the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel, invoke the Vajramon at their hearts in the form of full-fledged form to multiply infinite number of times. And like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that you visualize in their heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed of the Vajramon that you have visualized before. So likewise, all the infinite number of the replicas of the Vajramon from the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they descend like rain shower to descend to merge with the one that visualizes the heart of your mother, and the heart of the father, and the heart of each one of your members, including children, with each of the sentient beings, with all the sentient beings. With the Vajramon that you have shared with them, thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. It's amazing. This is the greatest of the gifts that you can offer to sentient beings, and today you have done this. And this is the greatest offering that you can possibly think of making to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Today you did it. And you, with your life, this is the greatest meaning. And today you extracted it, you have given such meaning to life. And all this happens because of the kindness of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. So just mentally thank them. Express your expression of gratitude to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas that such an amazing occasion happened today. So, with this in mind, let's turn to page 51. Page 51, that this incredible, say, the Vajramon that you have practiced today, you have received in the form of blessing from Buddhist Bodhisattvas for yourself, for all sentient beings. Let's pray that we are not separate from these two teachings, teaching of the bodhicitta and teaching of wisdom and emptiness, throughout the future lifetimes till Buddhahood. So, to make it happen, let us include this verse 3 times together, page 51. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. The remaining verses taken from Guided Bodhisattva of Life by Bodhisattva Shantideva. To invoke joy with just the label bodhicitta, just the thought of bodhicitta, the joy is being invoked. So in future lifetimes that we meet with the teaching of bodhicitta, we will rigorously engage this and then make the Buddhahood very quick for the benefit of demonstration beings. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucid seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha and now am one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in heap rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. It is rim ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death. is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world, is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease, is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence, is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth, is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions, is a great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world, is a quintessential butter from the churn of the mill of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and it shall place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, and by the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight, may God's demigods all be joyful. Okay, Deshing prayer. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the mind and vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blind in ignorance. Eyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Okay, 3 positions together.